Have you ever wondered why there are so many dandelions in our gardens? Well, over 100 years ago we used to grow them in neat little rows in allotments and gardens all the time because this is such a useful herb. Its scientific name is Taraxacum officinalis, which means the official healer. The stems are full of juice that if you're feeling irascible and annoyed and out of sorts, if you squeeze the stems into maybe some orange juice or some tea, then you will get a really soothing drink. The leaves, of course, these wonderful pointed leaves, are fantastic in salads, and they appear in the early spring, and the early spring ones are the sweetest flavoured. The big sort of well used ones are not so nice, but these are quite nice in salads. A concoction made out of the leaves, a tea, a handful of leaves, some boiling water, makes a real good tonic for the kidneys. If you want a really good tonic for the kidneys, then dry the roots and powder them and drink them like coffee, which it resembles. I knew an old guy who used to pin dandelion leaves to his ceiling, and he'd smoke them once they'd dried out. I'm not suggesting that you smoke dandelion leaves, but he did live to be 93. Who knows? If there is a herb that I would like to bring back, it would be the humble dandelion, because it's such a wonderful plant and has served man for a long time. This is my back door herb pot, and it's one of those old trugs. You can buy them from the supermarkets and garden centres for very little money, and in here goes different kinds of herbs. Now I like to set my herbs in certain ways. So this is my sore throat pot, and so I've got here Herb Robert. Herb Robert grows in the wild and it gets everywhere, and it's a really gorgeous plant, but it's absolutely ideal if you've got a bad throat, sore throat. Then a gargle with a decoction of this, and also sage. Got some nice sage here, and this is 2-year-old sage now, but I'm going to put some of the other plants in here and stick them by the back door. Now one of them is thyme. Thyme is an ideal thing, an ideal plant for gargling with, because it's an antiseptic. So we're going to put that in next to the sage. Chop off some leaves, chop off 1 or 2 of these and a bit of that, mix them together and make a tea bag, gargle with it. You have a really excellent remedy for sore throats, especially if you can put some honey in it. The other one, which is wonderful for general mouth health, is this. Parsley is full of excellent nutrients, so this can go into, and that's going to go around the back here. Now I've got 2 herbs that I've actually been to the shop to buy. We grow these from seeds, but I wanted to show you this. These are cut and come again herbs that you buy from the supermarket, and if you do ever buy them, you'll find that they've been stored in bad light conditions, they've been not looked after very well, they've dried out, or they've been overwatered, all of those things, and there's not a lot of health in there at all. But you put it in a pot and let it grow outside, and it will fill up very, very quickly. The flavour will be improved, the efficiency of it will be improved, and this of course is coriander, which we're going to use it in curries, don't you? Well, we also use it to make a really exceptional mouth freshener. So as you can see, my pot for bad throats and poor mouths is coming on. So coriander goes into my pot of compost too. Separate it off. Another plant which doesn't do particularly well in the supermarket is this basil. Now we know that tomatoes are really good for men. They're stuffed full of lycopene, and they're excellent for all the man bits. Well, strangely, basil goes with tomatoes so well, and this is also absolutely stuffed full of lycopene. But the interesting thing is, it works fantastically as a gargle for mouth ulcers. So this is going in there in my sore throat tray. Quite simply, it's been on the supermarket shelf. I bought it for 50p, and it's going to last the whole of the summer through. What we've got in here, we've got basil, coriander, thyme, sage, parsley and herb Robert. An absolutely wonderful mix just for your sore throats. People grow herbs at the back door used to be because the smell of the herbs, the aroma given off by the herbs, deterred flies from the house, and it really does work. It's also very convenient just to come out of the house, pick a few herbs, go back in again. Now I have here a 2-year-old lavender, and I want to take away some of this bad wood. Now this has been in the polytunnel during the winter, but even so, some of it has not particularly survived very well. So we're taking out some of the badness, the bad wood, so that below it we'll get more branched and thicker bushes. Later in the season, around about October, will be placed into a bigger pot where first of all it's got more insulation from the winter, and secondly it will have much more room to expand next year. And the wonderful thing is this aroma. What I absolutely adore doing on a hot summer's day is getting the deck chair out, bringing all the herbs around the deck chair, falling fast asleep, and then just loving the smells that waft you into another world. Grow herbs at your back door. Even if you've only got a patio, you will not regret it.